in nearly the moment that they make a new selection of something that they want, contradict it with their awareness that it doesn't yet exist as a manifested object in their experience. So, I want this thing that I do not have. I want this thing that I do not have. That's introducing contradictory energy into your equation. I want it, but I want it, but I would like to have that. I would like to have that, but I don't have that. I would like to have that, but I don't have that. So you hold yourself in a powerless situation. It's like a tug of war with two equally powerful people on each end of the rope, pulling, and no one's getting anywhere. And so what you want to do is let go of the end of the rope that doesn't feel good when you tug on it. You want to let go of that end of the rope, the naysayer end, the pessimistic end, the facing reality as it is end. Now we know they've trained you to be objective and to face reality because you don't want to be delusional, they say to you. And we say, yeah, you do. Because if you can believe in something that hasn't yet manifested, that might make you delusional by the standards of those people that are wanting you to be very reality-based. But if you can be a little delusional about those things, which means if you can be more hopeful, if you can be more optimistic, if you can be more futuristic, we use that word carefully, futuristic about what's manifested, but right now in the powerful now, using this powerful moment in time where the vibrational experience is happening within you. If you can focus in a way that feels good to you rather than bad to you, then that means you've let go of the resistant thought. And if you let go of the resistant thought about anything you want, what you want starts moving toward you. There is a momentum in it, you see. You know about momentum, don't you? Momentum is such an easy thing to understand. Once you get it going, it's easier to keep it going. A little hard to get it going in the beginning. We know you understand about momentum. It's in your experience all day, every day. Every time Esther puts her heavier than it should be suitcase in the back of her Tahoe, she says, okay, I'm going to use momentum. I'm going to use momentum to get this big heavy thing up there. And momentum carries it. She gives it some and it takes care of the rest, because an object that is in motion wants to stay in motion, and a vibration that is in motion wants to stay in motion. It's what momentum is. So when you start practicing a vibrational frequency, it's sort of like exercising a muscle, isn't it? When you start practicing a vibrational frequency, it's easier to keep it going, and that's really what deliberate creating is. So if you are like so many humans, where the majority of your thoughts are offered in response to what you are observing, and you're just letting whatever shows up in front of you be the reason that you're looking at it, then you're probably having a sort of contrasting experience where you're observing wanted and unwanted with no sense of control. We want you to leave this gathering today with a sense of control, because you are the focuser of your own experience. You can focus yourself into the reality that you want. And so what we want you to begin understanding is that there is a momentum in thought, and often you continue the momentum in the thought without meaning to, because the momentum in the thought, sometimes you say, it feels to me like my thoughts are thinking me. And we say, that's momentum. And momentum is caused by the powerful law of attraction, which says that which is likened to itself is drawn. Have you been listening to us enough to know that there is a vibrational content that is the basis of your point of attraction? It's not subject, subject, subject. It's vibrational frequency, vibrational frequency, vibrational frequency. In other words, if you're on the Henri disc, we've been describing the emotion that you might be feeling in a moment as actually selecting a vibrational point of attraction. We are calling those your point of attraction, your grid, or your, called it so many different things, you don't know what we're calling it. But it's the place where you stand. It's spinning because it's attractive. It's calling to it other things like it. So let's say that, like on the emotional scale, you could be on the fear disc, or you could be on the Henri disc, or you could be on the happy disc, you could be on the joy disc, the loving disc, the anger disc, the resentful disc, the fear disc. In other words, you can choose your point of attraction, and in fact you do, all day, every day. So let's say that for whatever reason, you're on the Henri disc. Don't you notice when you're on the ornery disc, when ornery is the vibrational frequency that you've got going on, that the subject matter can skip all over the place? You're ornery about the way your children are behaving. You're ornery about the way your spouse is behaving. You're ornery about the way your government is behaving. You're ornery about the way traffic is behaving. You're ornery about the way the weather is behaving. You're ornery about the way the cat behaved. In other words, doesn't matter what the subject is producing orneriness within you. And most humans do not understand that you can control the ornery factor. You can control how many ornery things you rendezvous with or how many happy things you rendezvous with. But you can't do it after you've rendezvoused, because after you've rendezvoused, there's so much momentum going. Well, you can, but you usually don't. After you've rendezvoused with something that makes you feel ornery or makes you feel fearful or makes you feel angry or defensive or guilty or blameful, there's enough momentum going that other thoughts like that are going to join them. Haven't you noticed that? Ever had a conversation around dinner and somebody gets started and you all sort of pile in? And before you know it, you're explaining things that happened 20 years ago that felt just like that. And one might say, well, what's that got to do with now? We say everything is the same vibrational frequency. You just reactivate it again. So every thought that's ever been thought still exists. You have the potential of activating anything right here, right now. And it doesn't take very much focus upon it in order to activate it with enough momentum that it begins to be a point of attraction for you where things like it are going to start showing up. And you know what the first thing that shows up once you find yourself spinning on one of these discs? The first thing that happens is more thoughts like it join it. Momentum. And the next thing that happens, and right on the heels of it, is you have an emotional, we're going to call it an emotional manifestation. Because emotion is a manifestation, isn't it? Don't you want to call it a manifestation? You can feel it all through you. So as you begin to understand that you've got this magnificent guidance system that is always letting you know what you're doing vibrationally, and once you start caring about how you feel, so much that you become unwilling to focus sloppily or to focus deliberately on something that doesn't feel good. Once you decide that you want to feel good, that you deserve to feel good, that you can feel good, and so you practice feeling good. That's what all those processes are about. Once you begin applying some of them, and you have control of the way you feel, then you have control of your point of attraction, and then the manifestations that follow prove to you, they are the evidence to you that you have managed to bring yourself into creative control just the way you intended to. You said, I'll go forth, I'll explore the contrast. The contrast will help me to define things that I want. We're sending out rockets of desire. I will have ideas and desires that I'm not vibrationally up to speed with at first, but I can practice myself up to speed with them. And you knew that when you did practice yourself into the frequency of your desire, and there was therefore no split energy going on within you, that then that desire would have to show up in your experience in multiple ways, because you're offering a vibration, a not split energy vibration, a pure vibration about what you want, and you're not shooting yourself in the foot with a contradictory thought. Therefore, you're not slowing it down. Therefore, it must come, and it must come fast. You knew that when you said you were going to come forth into this physical body. We're just here to remind you what your plans were so that you can apply them with a little bit more focus. Because most humans, we love you so much, are sloppy in your focus because you have become willing to endure negative emotions. You put up with the feeling of guilt. That's just crazy. You put up with the feeling of blame. You put up with the feeling of condemnation. You put up with the feeling of fear. We cannot figure out why you would do that. Why would you allow yourself to feel the evidence of split energy when you have the power to not split your energy? There's only one reason. And that's not a good one. You're just looking at what's out there instead of choosing from the buffet. You don't do that, however, at the buffet. You're picky. You're picky eaters. We want you to be picky thinkers, picky feelers. We want you to want to feel good. We want you to want to feel good so much that you're willing to focus yourself into a way that you do feel good. When you are a person who has found a new desire and it still feels fresh and exciting to you because you haven't trampled it to death with doubt. In other words, you desire it. You feel like you did when you were a kid, when there was something that you wanted and you didn't feel defeated about it. You didn't feel uncertain about it. You didn't feel beaten down by it. Those are the way we want all of your desires to feel. And that's the way they can all feel. It's really the way they should feel to you, because when you want something, you have control over the other thoughts that you think around it. When you think, I would like this improvement in my life, whether it's a material object or more monetary experience or an improved relationship or a new relationship altogether, when you're asking for anything, as you're asking for it, I would like to have that. And then the thoughts that you also think around it also feel good to you. Thoughts such as, well, in perfect timing, this is coming, or I'm getting ready for that, and that is getting ready for me. Then thoughts about your desire like that feel good, and they hold you in a place of easy opening. They hold you in a place where your desires will flow easily to you. The circumstances and events will culminate in such ways that you will feel the steady unfolding of your desire. And a desire like that feels good, feels good, feels good, feels good, feels good, even before it is manifested. But if you have a desire, I would like that, but it isn't coming, and I've wanted that for a long time and it hasn't come for a long time, then those contrary thoughts to your desire don't feel good to you. And the reason they don't feel good to you is because you are focusing into existence contradictory vibration within yourself. So you're splitting your own energy. I want it, but I don't have it. I want it, but I don't have it. I want it, but I don't have it. And it doesn't take long before you don't even want to want it, because wanting it doesn't feel good to you. And when someone reminds you that you want this thing that you haven't figured out how to bring into your experience, it's annoying. And it's even more annoying when somebody else gets that thing you want. It makes you begin to believe in shortage when there isn't any. There's just personal deprivation of desire. That's all that exists. But if you are personally depriving yourself of things you want because you're thinking more thoughts about their absence than you are about their presence, and then there are other people in your view that aren't doing that, so they're allowing what they want into their experience, we can get how that would be annoying to you. But we want you to feel the empowerment, because you have the power to focus yourself into personal alignment. And that's what deliberate creation is. No one can deprive you of anything. First of all, you get to select what you want by the variety that surrounds you. You're doing it all day, every day. You're making selections of things that you prefer. We've enjoyed this interaction. You are a wonderful group of consciousnesses. It's exhilarating to us to play with you, and it has been satisfying to us to feel your frequencies moving into alignment with who you really are steadily as a result of the conversations that we've had. It's our powerful desire that you not work hard at this, and that you just take as much of the simplicity from this conversation as you can today, and just practice a few things that have occurred to you that would be easy for you to practice, so that you can demonstrate to yourself the accuracy, the vibrational accuracy of these words. Words don't teach. It's only life experience that teaches. But we've been together for enough hours, and you've contemplated this deliberate creation from enough different angles, that it is our absolute promise to you that by making a decision when you put yourself in your bed tonight to wake up intending to reach for something that feels good, and then lie in your bed long enough that you find something that feels good, and don't ask the momentum of it to be so strong that it makes you yodel down the canyon. Just ask for it to be soft and in alignment.